Welcome back to the video course on placement preparation under Basic Skill Enhancement Program. So dear students, last week we started our course and we covered the first module that included basic soft skill introduction and what are the contents in this course and how are soft skills different from the hard skills, and then the SWOT analysis, how you can identify your weak areas and you can then work upon your strengths, accompanied by what are the integral parts in the soft skill, then also the various categories or types of soft skill that we have in a broad manner. And also we discuss the process of SOAR, how you can identify your improvement areas in terms of soft skill, and you can start planning, preparing, and then applying your skill set in a modified manner. So in this week, we will continue with the second module, that is cover letter, resume, and CV writing. And we will see how you can effectively write your resume and CV. Also, we covered last time what is a cover letter, how many types of cover letter do you have, what is the standard format of writing a cover letter, what are the guidelines while writing a cover letter, and we also discussed few samples or templates that you can follow as a fresher for writing your cover letters. So in this video, let us start with resume writing, followed by the cover letter that we have already covered. So starting with what is a resume, as you can see here, a resume provides a summary of your education, work history, credentials, and other accomplishments and skills. So basically, a resume is a document that includes all that you have done as part of your learning, which is in your curriculum, which is in your past job, which is in terms of your internship, in terms of volunteering, in terms of all the add-ons in your hands-on experience and in your textbook learning, in the certifications that you have done, everything which you have acquired till date is included in your resume. Then there are also optional sections including a resume objective and a career summary statement. So in order to make your CV or make your resume impressive, you write an objective which shows where do you see yourself, where do you want to work, and what is your goal, what is your interest, what is your passion in terms of the industry that you are applying for. So in order to highlight your interest in the profile in the job that you are applying, you go for writing a resume objective or a career statement and summary. So we will see how a resume objective and a career statement can be framed so that you can project your skill set, your area of interest before mentioning all your credentials in an impressive manner. Also, we will see, as resumes are the most common documents requested of applicants in job application. So what is the proper format of writing a resume? Then a resume should be concise as possible. Usually it is 1 page long, though sometimes it can be as long as 2 pages. See, while you are writing your resume, in a standard way, 1 page resume is considered to be ideal. But when you have experience, when you have acquired a number of courses, degrees, and you have work experience also, then those times you can make a 2 page long resume, but it should not be more than that. Then resumes often include bulleted list. So it is always preferred that you mention the contents of your resume by using bullets or numbering so that the different points or the different things that you mention in your resume are separated. Resume comes in types like chronological, functional, combination, etc. So you can see there are various types of resume, like in chronological, as you know, by chronology, they mean that you mention the things that you've done time wise. So you use a time lag of mentioning how and when you did so and so forth, starting from your recent acquired skill set to the last relevant skill set that you had over this period. Also, the functional resume shows in which broad functions in terms of functional expertise or knowledge you have worked. So, do you have a cross functional experience or exposure? If you have so, then you can categorize it on basis of the different functions and you can mention it accordingly. Similarly, you also have a combination of the chronological and the functional resumes where you write a resume based upon the time detail also in terms of timeline of what you did when and also which functional expertise you worked or which particular function you were involved in over that time. So it includes both the time factor and the functional factor also. Next, we have the guidelines in writing the resumes. So, the guidelines in writing resumes are resumes should be as concise as possible. So, it is important that your resumes are as short as possible. You want to. 2 pages is the maximum length. So, the maximum that long that your resume can be is 2 pages. 1 page is preferable. So, as I already told that around 47-48% of employers feel that a one page resume is what they would like to read, and out of a survey done in a span of suppose 60, 47 people said that they want that one page resume is ideal. Then usually 1 page is for entry level candidate and 2 page is for an experienced candidate. So when you are a fresher, when you are applying for the job first time, then it is good that you make a 1 page CV, and also it is sufficient if you are making a 1 page CV because at the time you are not having a very vast detail about your past work experience. You only have your educational background, educational details, and your internships and projects, etc. A 2 page is usually for an experienced candidate who has done a lot of things and he or she has to mention all his past or her past work experience. That is why 1 page is not enough for them. Then Times New Roman, Arial, Calibri or a similar font is used. The font size should be between 10 and 12 points, although the name and section headings can be a little larger or bold. So it is ideal that you use simple font style and also a very standard font size while writing your resumes. Then the standard page margins in word processing programs are 1 inches on the top, bottom, left and right. So the ideal is that if you are using the Word document, then from all the sides 1 page margin is and 1 inch is kept in a page. But if you have content that is larger and you are falling short of space, then you can reduce this 1 inch margin to half inches. However, one decides to keep the sections, all of them should be uniform. Then do not use personal information such as birthday, height, weight, marital status, etc. So one should not mention all these details if it is unless and until asked that you need to mention, you should not mention your personal data like this. Make sure to proofread the resume before sending. See, once you have written the resume, because it is a document that tells something about all of you, and it is the formal document that you are sending as your identity to the job providing organization. So it is very important that after writing you read it and read it again, and you also should check it for any grammar, spelling mistakes, any error in the facts that you have mentioned, and after you have repeatedly checked it, then only you should forward it to the concerned organization. Then let us cover the next topic, that is contents of a resume. What a resume includes, what are the parts that you need to definitely include when you are writing a resume. The first is identification. So when you start writing a resume, the basic thing that you need to mention includes your name, address, telephone number, email address in the identification section at the top of the resume. So at the top of the CV, what you need to mention are these basic details. It is your name, address, telephone number and email. Then use a professional email address. So see, it is always preferred that you use a professional address like rohankumar@gmail.com. So this shows a very professional ID where the full name, first name and the last name is mentioned. And do not use email IDs like cricketlover@hotmail.com. So this shows a very jolly person and not a very sincere individual or candidate. So you should avoid using any such email IDs in your resume. Then the second is objective. So when you include a resume objective, keep it specific by writing your desired job or field and what you hope to accomplish in that field. So your resume should tell that which job you are interested in working. So this is something that you would love to do, that you like to do, and what you have done in this field. If you have a work experience which is similar, which is accordingly as per in nature of similar kind what you are applying, then you should mention it in your objective. Then the third is education. Include the degrees you have received in reverse chronological order. See, the reverse chronological order means, chronology means that you start from the past to the recent, but reverse chronological is from the most recent to the last. So suppose you did something in August 2020. So you will first mention August 2020, then August 2019, then August 2018, then August 2017 and the years before it. So you will go in this sequence with the most recent listed first. Be sure to include the name of each institution, its location and your date of graduation or expected date of graduation. So while you are mentioning your educational details, it is very important that you list the year, the name of the university, the name of the college, where it was located. Suppose you did your graduation from in BTech Computer Science from DIT India, so you will mention the year 2021, batch BTech, Buddha Institute of Technology, Bida, Gorakhpur. The university is AKTU, that is Abdul Kalam Technical University. So AKTU, under AKTU and your year that I already told you. When applicable, include your major, minor fields as well as your GPA and any honors, publications and projects. So moving here, so like here when you're coming to BTech, your specialization is suppose computer science, information technology, electronics and communication, mechanical engineering. So accordingly, you will mention the BTech and the specialization name and the GPA, that is what was your gross percentage over that period you will mention. If you have done any research papers you have got published, the project that you made, internships that you did, and also any honors if you have in your academics, then you can mention it in the educational section heading. Then unless you are a current high school student, do not include your high school degree. So suppose you have moved forward, now you have experience, now you have done your masters, so you can skip the basic elementary information like your high school or your school level details, etc. Then moving forward to the experience, include your work experience in reverse chronological order with the most recent degree listed first. So how you will mention again your experience? So you will start with, suppose you worked at an organization till September 2020. So you will first mention the organization name where you were working till September 2020, then 2019 or 18, and then below that you will follow the earlier work experiences. So this section can include jobs, internships, and volunteer work. High school students might also include clubs and sports team if applicable. See, suppose you are applying for a job that is after your graduation, after your post graduation, then you should focus more on your experience in terms of the jobs you did, in terms of the internships you did, in terms of the volunteering you did. And suppose you are currently in high school and you are going for some part-time work, applying for something like that, then at that time you should focus more and you can mention also if you were part of some college or school club, you were active in a sports team, you were in some activity or group activity you did, etc. Include the name of the company, the position and dates of employment. So while you are applying for the company, it is very important that you mention which company you were working earlier, what position, that is what was your profile, what was your designation in the company, uh, when till from where, when till when you were employed. Suppose you were for 1 year, so mention the exact time, that from August 2019 to September 2020 you were working in that organization. They list roughly three important tasks, accomplishments, or skills gained at each job. So it is good if you mention at least three things that you did over there, three tasks that you were doing there, or three type of skills if you learned something over there. So it is good if you mention that in your resume. Use action verbs to describe your achievement. So it is always good that you mention things in action verbs and not in passive manner, like you actively participated and you were responsible for responsible. So in that terms, use the action verbs, not in a passive that my role was to do this. Okay, so you can frame your content in the way that more of action verbs are there, because these are the ones that are easily detected by the ATS or applicant tracking system while screening your resume. Next, we have the skills. So, include any computer systems with which you are proficient, particularly if they are related to the position for which you are applying. So see, today is the era of technology, and if you have any computer course, certification, or any skill which is related to the web that you have, which is related to the course or the job that you are applying, then it is always asked and it is always preferred by the employer. Then include foreign languages with which you are familiar. State both the language and your level of familiarity, beginning, intermediate, proficient and fluent. See, there are four levels as you can see in a language. Beginning is when you have elementary knowledge. Intermediate, you can understand, you can speak, and then proficient, you can write also. And fluent is when you can read, write and speak. All the three you are very good at. So you can mention if you have idea, and also up to which level you have the idea of that language. List any other skills you have that relate to the job but are not included elsewhere in your resume. So if you have any additional soft skill, hard skill in terms of any additional courses, diplomas, any hands-on training, then you can mention in this skills heading. Then moving forward, we have the volunteer work that is optional. So you can include a volunteer experience section to convey your leadership, communication skills, etc. List the name of the organization, the dates of your volunteer work, and your achievements. So while you are applying for a firm, it is good that if you have some experience in an NGO or in a school or with any charitable institution, then you can mention till when you were associated with that organization, because this shows that you value your social responsibility. And even companies go for hiring employees, or institutes go for hiring people who are actively involved in CSR, that is corporate social responsibility, and this will be considered as a added star in your resume. Then hobbies and interests, you can also include a section on your hobbies and interests if they relate to the position. So suppose if there is something which is like a creative job, if it is a content writing job, and you have some creative interest, creative hobbies, or it is something that your hobbies play a good role in the job that you are applying, it is relatable, then you can definitely mention it in your resume. For example, if you are applying to work at a sports goods store, so if there is a company who is explicitly involved in the selling and marketing of the sports good, then if you have a track or a past record, or if you have a hobby of playing basketball, or if you have been in the sport for some time, in your free time you have a passion for basketball and you play, then you can mention it, because this shows that you also have an interest out of your hobby in the job that you are applying. So volunteering and hobbies and interest is optional. If you want, then you can mention it. This is not a necessary head in your resume. So that is all about the parts of a resume that we have. Then moving forward, we will see what is the resume objective. As I already told, it is a very essential or a highlight you can make and create an impressive resume if you have a good resume objective. So what it is and what are the things you should include in it, and how you can make your resume effective. गर्मी बहुत हो रही थी, मैं दरवाजे So, a resume objective is a statement of your goals for employment, usually listed at the top of your resume. A resume objective is typically one or two sentences long. So, it is what is your objective? What do you want to do? What do you want in life? Whether what do you want from the area of the job that you are applying, and what is your purpose, what is your goal in terms of the company or the broad sector that you are choosing to work. Whenever you want to emphasize that you are ambitious, that you know what you want in a career, or that you have the skills for the specific job, you could benefit from a resume objective. So, suppose that you want to show that you are very much decided to work in that particular job only. It is not something that you are doing out of just another option or out of many options, but this is a very determined and sincere choice that you have made. Then you can write a resume objective, and it shows also that you have the particular skill set, the necessary and appropriate skills that are required to do that job in the best manner, and you are the best fit candidate for the position. A resume objective can explain why you are qualified for the job, even if you do not have a lot of related experience. So, suppose you do not have much experience in that particular field, like in IT or in pharma or in digital marketing. So you are not having experience, but you are interested to work it as a field of your choice because you would love to work in that field because it was a passion of yours to work in that field. So in that case, resume objective helps. And objective can be particularly helpful when you are changing careers. So also if you were earlier working in a different area and now you are changing your career arena and you are switching from one sort or one category of job to the other, then a resume objective can help the employer in understanding what is your intention, what is your idea, why you want to go for this change. Because otherwise, sending a CV that shows a number of variations in the jobs that you have done, and also you are applying for a very different job, so this shows that you are a very confused person, right? And that over a period of time, you have not been able to decide which sort of or which category of job that you actually want to proceed in your career with. So, in order to make sure that you have the relevant skill set and you are a dedicated applicant, it is good that you state a resume objective. The most effective objective is one that is tailored to the job you are applying for. So suppose you have to write your resume objective. So before that, it is always advised that you read the job description and the job specification, that is the JD and the JS, and based on the two, you frame or you again rewrite your objective, which includes the skills in highlight out of the required skills that they have for the job. It states what kind of career you are seeking and what sort of skills and experience you have that make you ideal for that career. So it also shows that okay, you want to be a part of this particular industry, and also what skills do you have at present, what experience do you have at present, so that you become a candidate who has planned to apply and who is applying with a fair thought in mind with your application. A resume objective might also include where you have been and where you want to go in your career. So, a resume objective also shows what sort of job you have done in past, what sort of roles you have played in your past, and how do you want to take your job roles, how do you want to take your career in terms of the future opportunities that you are taking. Then stating an objective is optional, but it can help convince employers that you know what you want and are familiar with the industry. So, see, writing the resume objective is not mandatory. At times, people, if you are not sure, if you are confused, if you are not finding yourself very much having the skills that you are applying for the particular job, then you can avoid the objective also. But if you want to create an impression, if you want to create impact, and if you know the industry, then it is very much required. It is good that you apply with a resume objective. Then how to write a strong resume objective. Here are some tips that you can use in order to write a good resume objective. First is be specific. It is a good idea to write a new resume objective for each job you apply for. So, reading the JD and JS, what is mentioned in the JS, if you have those skills and keeping in mind those skills, you can rewrite your resume objective. Second is when you are crafting your resume, you should focus on particular skills and experiences that are directly related to the job. So suppose you have a number of skills and you have a lot of experience, but if you are applying for a job, then you are focusing on that particular position only at that time. And if I am the hiring manager, so I am only focusing on seeing whether you have those necessary skills or not. Right? I am not interested in what all you did, which was extra or which was not related or which was different from what I want to do in the company. So it is preferred that you focus on those skills which are related directly to the job. Second is use keywords. So another effective strategy is to include keywords from the job listing in your resume objective. So suppose that you have these keywords mean suppose a particular skills, particular proficiency, particular software, particular terms that are specific to the core that you belong, your background, and they are required in from the candidate who is applying. Okay, so if I am applying for the position and it is written in the JS that one should know SQL, one should know Java, one should have hands-on experience preferred in a project on Java. So these are the necessary skills that are required. So if I am writing my resume objective, I will see that I include these words, these necessary Java, SQL, and hands-on at the project detail while writing my objective. So if I have completed a project on this particular language, then I will write that successfully completed, successfully uh, pro- mass projected the application of so and so software uh, by using so and so language. So then I will highlight my particular skill set. Not only can this increase the chances of your resume getting picked up by a company's applicant tracking system, that is ATS, it can also emphasize how your qualifications align with the job listing. So when you are writing the resume objective, you not only highlight what you know, but also this is a chance by which you can show that you have the qualifications that are very much fitted to the requirement that the particular company has. So suppose all the candidates who are applying, they might be interested, but how you will show that your application is different. So you can show that your application is different by highlighting those key skills that you have. Next we have make a match. So you should also only state career goals that are feasible within the company. So suppose I have career goals that you want to become CEO of a software company, you want to you want to have a startup of your own, then you should not mention when you are applying for a company to job, regular job, right? Because this will show that one day you will leave the organization, you won't be satisfied in the growth that you will get within the company because you aim to have own business of yours. For example, if you ultimately want to become a managing editor at a magazine, okay, so you want to become an editor, which is a very senior position in a magazine, or but you are applying for a job at a newspaper. So do not state this. But currently you are going to work in a newspaper. So this is something that does not go well with your ultimate goal and your current choice that you are making, right? So you should mention only that objective which is possible while you are working in the particular company. Otherwise, there will be an impression that okay, this employee is applying for now, but you are not going to stay in the company for long. For this, focus on how you can add value. One of the dangers of a resume objective is that you focus too much on what you want in your career, right? And not enough on how you will add value to the company. So you will tell, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I'll become this, but you will not tell in your objective that how you can be a valuable source to the company, how your skills will help the organization, the company to grow. So this is a mistake that people make when they are talking too much about themselves in the objective of the resume, and you should try to prevent this mistake. Then briefly include any information that highlights your experience including your years in the industry, your particular skill set, and any other qualification. So this is for experienced candidate who are applying, and so the skills that they have already worked on, the industry experience that they are having, also the required or the qualification that is as per the profile that they are having in the past. They have acquired that qualification and it aligns with their current vacancy, so they need to mention all that in the good resume objective. Include examples of ways you can add value or even improve the company. So your objective should be something that shows yourself as an individual, which is a great asset if you become a part of the organization, so that you get an upper hand while sending your resume or sharing your resume with the employer. For example, mention your 10 years experience of successfully reducing the budgets and state that you want to apply these skills to the organization budget. So what this shows that okay, this person has a vast 10 years of experience in cost cutting, right? And also the person or the employer who is hiring will think that fine, then if this person joins my company, then he or she can also do the cost cutting in my firm, because you are an expert in the cost cutting thing. So, as an employer, as a hiring manager, I would prefer to hire someone. I will be very keen to interview an individual who is having such vast experience and is also very fruitful for my company, or I can see that that person can be a valuable resource to my organization. In career objective or resume objective examples, so let us see a few common resume objectives that you can use while writing your resumes. The first is to secure a challenging position in a reputable organization to expand my learnings, knowledge, and skills. So this shows that okay, it is written. If you are fresher, then you can write this that you have your learning, you have knowledge and skill, and you are looking for a challenging position in an organization of repute. So this is something you can write anywhere. Second is secure a responsible career opportunity to fully utilize my training and skills while making a significant contribution to the success of the company. So suppose you have good training is being done, you have good projects where you have worked, you have data in your CV when you can show that you have learned something, you have learned skills in your training, then you can use this career or resume objective. Seeking an entry level position to begin my career in a high level professional environment. So if you are a fresher just landing, you are applying for a number of jobs, then you can use this single resume objective in n number of companies, because it is not focusing on any particular industry, any particular segment or area. Then to secure employment with a reputable company where I can utilize my skills and business study background to the maximum. So this resume objective is particularly for people who have a commerce or a business background, and this shows that whatever skills they have learned, they want to utilize it in the firm. Next is seeking a challenging career with an MNC. Next is a highly organized and hardworking individual looking for a responsible position to gain practical experience. So suppose you're applying for an internship, you're applying for a ad hoc position, you're applying for some training position, or any position that is giving you a fresher opportunity, then you can use this general resume objective. Seeking a challenging career with an MNC. So if you are applying for an MNC and you want a short resume objective, then you can use it. Next, you have to make use of my interpersonal skills to achieve goals of a company that focuses on customer satisfaction and customer experience. So suppose that your interpersonal skills is very good, you have very good communication skill, you have been very much involved in competitions, in extracurricular activities, you have participated at maybe regional, state level, national level, then you can write this sort of resume objective, because this shows that customer satisfaction can only be done, say, when you have good communication skills, because through your communication only you can make them believe, you can solve their issues, and in that way. So if you're having your interpersonal skill set strong, and you also can make them believe, and you can also keep it in terms of a good skill set or a good backing in your previous records, that you have been winner or you have been achiever, so you can use this objective. Looking for a challenging role in a reputable organization to utilize my technical, database and management skills for the growth of the organization, as well as to enhance my knowledge about new and emerging trends in the IT sector. So suppose you are applying for a job that is in the software or the IT sector, then you can use a resume objective like this. Then other options for starting your resume. So one thing while you start your resume is when you mention your basic information, then you write the resume objective. Second is you can also write a summary statement. What is a summary statement? An alternative to using an objective on your resume is to use a resume profile, also called a resume summary statement or statement of qualification, which is a brief summary of your skills and experience written for a specific job opening. So this might sound a lot of things, but what actually it is that uh, in bullets you mentioned that okay, uh, graduate in computer science engineering, over 3 months of experience in a project on SQL, worked on languages like C++, Java, and etc., and highly enthusiastic in learning new technologies, having good communication skills, and open to learning and teamwork, coordination, and proven track record of uh, working in successful projects. So, if you have like these points mentioned, then you can similarly create a personal summary statement of yours, like I gave you the example. Like only in bullets you mention your qualities, your skills, and all the summary and experience of whatever you did in few points. Then the branding statement. So another option is to add a resume branding statement to your resume. This statement is shorter than a resume profile or objective, about 15 words, and it's highlight your key success and skills. So suppose you have been an achiever, like you could say personal growth and development, internationally acclaimed trainer. So, if you have been recognized internationally, or if you have been recognized at the state level, or if you have done some excellent work in a project, then you can just use a short branding statement in your resume. Then you have headline. A third option is a resume headline, also known as a resume title. So a resume title is just a one line heading that you have. This is even shorter than a branding, because even in branding you mention that trainer with experience of training over suppose 200 plus students successfully, like this. Suppose a branding statement you're writing as internationally acclaimed personal development trainer, experience of training over 200 plus students successfully. Uh, in a batch, and thousands of trainers trained in so far. So this is a branding statement, but if you are writing your headlines, so that is internationally acclaimed trainer. So in that way, you are just mentioning few words to describe yourself. But headline you usually use when you are having a vast experience, when you have proven your skills, then only you prefer more a branding statement and headline statement, because your brand value is created or your headline can be created only when you have a vast experience. If you are a fresher, then go for writing a resume objective or a summary statement. Next, let us see some profile summaries for freshers. So, this is a profile summary for fresher, a software engineer. It is strong in design and integration with intuitive problem solving skills. So, this shows problem solving skills, designing skills, proficient in Java, C, Python, JavaScript, and SQL. So, the language is known, passionate about implementing and launching new projects. So this shows that you are ready to always work. Ability to translate business requirement into technical solutions. So you have a logical approach and mindset. Looking to start the career as an entry-level software engineer with a reputed firm driven by technology. So this is a very good profile summary when you are applying as a fresher for the software engineer role. Next, we have a profile summary for freshers project management. It shows a meticulous and organized individual seeking an entry-level position in the field of project management. So, project management, suppose if you are going for jobs like you have studying it as a part of your curriculum, and nowadays project management comes into every sector. So, skilled at developing reports, because you will be working on reports, what you have to show what work you have done, analyzing data, so you have to keep on tracking the project, so data will be there, and identifying solution. Strong ability to handle complex projects, innovative, creative, and willing to contribute ideas and learn new things. So project management is all about developing the idea and working on it and getting the results. So everything has come into this particular profile summary, right? Next, we have the profile summary for fresher. If you are into digital marketing, so when applying for a digital marketing job, let us see what can be the profile summary. An articulate and quick-thinking young individual with a natural flair to communicate and build relationships online. So you can see that digital marketing is all about promoting your product online. So this has been mentioned as a keyword in the profile summary. Thorough understanding of digital marketing strategy, because in digital marketing what is very important is what strategy do you use, like what campaigns you have, what ads you create, and how you uh, generate leads on that interest. So the strategy making here is a word, that keyword might be in the job specification also, and that is why it is mentioned here. Skilled at integrated marketing methodologies and can strive hard to drive sales and increase the brand awareness. So, what is the main thought behind digital marketing is you have to create sales. So, here the person itself is mentioning that he or she can work hard to generate sales, and also the brand will be promoted, right? So all these keywords might be there in the job specification, and you can include them in the profile summary like this. Next is profile summary for freshers in mechanical engineering. So an enthusiastic fresher with highly motivated and leadership skills, having bachelor's of engineering degree in mechanical engineering. So this shows that a very competent and enthusiastic fresher with motivated and leadership skill is there, and also having a bachelor degree, that is a basic in mechanical engineering. Expert in implementation of each step of project. So while going for step-by-step project application, also an expert. Eager to learn new technologies and methodology. So very much keen to learn, to grow, and to work on new technologies, on new methods. Then always willing to innovate the new things which can improve the existing technology, and also continuously working on innovation, how you can apply, see, because mechanical profile is all about creating things and developing the idea into practical design and then realizing the design. So you can see all those things have been mentioned here: technology, methodology, uh, innovation, improve the existing technology. The keywords have been included in the profile summary. So that is how you create an effective profile summary, resume objective while starting your resume. So what we covered so far is what is a resume and the basic parts of a resume. Like you have a resume objective, you have your initial introduction, that is your identity, you tell by the name and basic details. Then after resume objective, you have your work experience, your educational background details, then you have your skill set, you have your volunteering experience, you have your hobbies and interests, and then also we covered how you have to write an impressive resume objective, and how you can use good keywords, you can use action verbs to make the resume more appealing, and instead you can also use branding, you can use headings or highlights, and you can use profile summary to start your resume if you don't want to go for a resume objective. But if you're a freshman, then I would suggest that resume objective and profile summary are the best options for the as the first head that you have in your resume. So we'll continue the resume writing and the various other heads and guidelines in our next video. Thank you.